Hi friends, welcome back to the Latina garden. Today we are looking at our May garden. So I hope you join me and enjoy this video. To start, we've planted some veggies. We have the zucchini there, a couple of tomatoes here. We got the early girls and the sweet 100s and basil. We usually do the Chinese long beans around here. Haven't planted them yet. Of course, my Italian oregano, growing nice and tall. I actually found that Italian oregano is part of the mint family, which makes a lot of sense to me because it grows profusely all year, like mint. So a lot of similarities there. My strawberries here, we've been getting a couple of strawberries every day. The kids love to come out and see which ones have turned red to pick them. So looking great. In this pot, I had some ranunculus and some anemones that have died back, and so this one still bloomed recently. But this season, it's starting to get really hot here, and so the season for those is really starting to slow down. So I plan to plant something else in this pot, and I will probably leave the tubers or the corms from the ranunculus and the anemones in there. This is my lemon balm. Great as a tea if you want to dry it. Leave it as a tea. Down here we are growing for the first time some Japanese cucumbers. Usually we do like the Boston pickling cucumbers. This year I wanted to try something different. So we got the Japanese cucumbers, which are the kind of skinny, really long ones that you see at the store. And then I have my blackberry bush, which, if we look very closely, it is starting to flower. So exciting, because that means we will get some blackberries. So very excited. I want to trellis this up the fence. And then in my corner garden here, which looks very lush and beautiful, I have my oriental lilies that are gonna be blooming soon. I have my stock, which I just love because it just blooms a lot. It has a really long season for blooming. This is my salvia, finally came up. Looks great. I have some alyssum underneath it. This is all poppies that I planted here from seed. I just kind of threw them in. I also threw in some seeds from, what was it? I know I did Bells of Ireland in here. And I might have also done celosia. But I know something's growing, and so I'm not sure if that's I don't think it's a celosia. It kind of reminds me of zinnias. I planted here zinnias last year, and I think this is all it's been reseeded and is growing back. I have in here some purple alyssum, which has grown quite a bit. Love it. Some more stock. And then back here in the back, I have some larkspur growing, which I don't even remember planting, but I think last year I did throw in a mix of seeds. It was one of those packages of like a spring mix or butterfly mixes, and last year I do not believe I got any larkspur. Super excited, and I love it. because it's like this beautiful purple color, or blue. I call it purple, but I think technically it's blue larkspur, but it looks just so pretty. My gladiolus are all coming up behind there, looking great. This I need to kind of take back a little bit. It's done blooming. It does bloom these really tiny flowers, and if you saw my last video, you can kind of see the flowers. But I kind of feel like it's short-lived flower. It doesn't bloom for a very long time. I still like it though. Still gonna keep it there. And then also we did get a new jalapeno. I was trying to winter last year's over, but it didn't make it. So we ended up getting another jalapeno plant to plant there. And then my tree here, my granada tree, my pomegranate tree, which has a couple little flowers in here. So I'm hoping that it blooms and that the blooms stay and the wind don't take them down, and we get some pomegranates finally this year. So fingers crossed for pomegranate. Here are things that I was trying to grow from tubers or seeds that just haven't, so they've just been really slow to coming up. This is a dahlia. This here growing, finally have some green growth, is another dahlia. I have a hydrangea. It's a blue hydrangea, or kind of, yeah, it is blue. That has been growing there. My roses have been blooming so much, so beautifully. They're almost done here. I need to cut this back. I need to cut that back. But they're just beautiful pink flowers that I've been enjoying. This last few weeks, I have lantana here, which is like a pink and yellow lantana. I have another hydrangea, a pink one. And then that is my lilac vine, which I also need to trellis along this wall. And I have here elephant ears. I have two of them. And one of them is finally looks like it's starting to grow. So these, I don't know if they're just typically really just slow growing, or I haven't kept the soil moist enough, long enough. Or maybe it's just the temperature hasn't reached the correct temperature for it to grow. So a lot of different factors, but I am excited that I do see some growth finally in there, and I do need to put these in a bigger pot. I just haven't gotten bigger pots yet. And then here I have my other, this is my orange rose bush. Some beautiful orange colored roses. They're little ones. If you can see my hand here, just for some reference, they're about maybe like 4 inches in diameter. But I like them. They change kind of into like a yellow and orange mix of different shades of yellow and orange. So it looks really great when it's full. I did cut it back a while back ago because it had bloomed a lot and then it was done. Just kind of like how I need to do with these rose bushes. I need to start cutting them back so I can get more roses this season. This is my leather leaf. And then, I forget the name of that one. Dahlia. Some clover. And then my astival, which astival I believe is starting to finally bloom here. see this one growing. It's supposed to be a white color. We'll see if it blooms white. But I was really excited because this dies back completely in the like late fall, winter, and it will come back again. So it is a perennial. So this is my camellia, which I love it when it blooms in the fall, kind of late fall, early winter, but we don't really get very much winter, so, but it blooms this beautiful pink flowers. Here is my succulent planter, which I had moved to full sun, and the leaves started to burn. So a lot of these cannot handle full sun. So I ended up moving it back to the shade. But here you can see one of my pink astigals bloomed. And so that's exciting because this is the first time it's bloomed. And my cyclamen, they're right in front of it. My third rose bush here. My hydrangea. And then I've kind of planted it really close to this delphinium that I had planted here last year and had died down, and I didn't think I was gonna make it for the spring season. I thought it was dead, and I planted this in here, and then when it started to come up, I realized, ooh, I planted it way too close. So I need to adjust this later on this season. But this hydrangea is just so beautiful, baby blue. And then here I have my dicentra, bleeding heart, which bloomed a few blooms for me. Beautiful. Back here I have African daisies and another salvia, which started to come up. Some bugs are getting it, so I do need to sprinkle some stuff in here. My mint, which I cut back a lot. And then here I have some peonies growing, which this one, I keep filling it and then the kids kick it with a soccer ball and it spills the dirt. But you can see an eye there, so I'm hoping it does bloom. I need to put it in a bigger pot, I feel like, or I need to plant it in the ground. Here is my butterfly bush, which has grown so tall. It's taller than me now. And it has spread out pretty wide. So I love it. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. And maybe once these flowers have fully, bloomed, I'll cut it back a little bit. But for now, I can't wait for it to bloom because it blooms these beautiful color magenta flowers. The bees, pollinators love it, and it smells like honey in my garden. So it brings out a really beautiful smell. I have my honeysuckle here, which has been blooming these beautiful yellow and pink flowers, which I love. I have my calla lily or alcatraz here. Some Dusty Miller back there. More dahlias. Some stock. My lamb's ear. I did plant in here some alyssum. I have some supertunias, Supertunia vistas, superbinas, which I'm still on the hunt for the pink cashmere superbina from Proven Winners. If they would like to send me one, I would love it. But back here, this is one of the dahlias I had planted here last year, and I just love the color. I had planted another one here, and it was growing almost It had a bunch of buds on it, and then the kids broke the stem with a soccer ball. And then back here, I have growing some gladiolas all along the back line. And sadly, I had moved my eucalyptus tree. I dug it up and I tried to reposition it, and it's not doing good. It's really struggling. The wood, like these thinner wood pieces, are very brittle. I think I might cut it back and see if it will grow again. If not, I'm gonna have to take this out, but I really think that it's going bye-bye. So that's super sad because I love the smell, but I don't think it's gonna last. I might have to get another one, and the next time I might do the bush. I'll look for the bush instead of the tree. But we have here more of the Supertunia Vistas. Here, this reseeded itself from last year. This is my Love Lies Bleeding, which I love, amaranth. And then I have another dahlia plant growing back here. Back there, I have the hollyhocks. And then some of these are status and straw flower. I forget what's what because Nico pulled the tags off. So we'll see if they bloom, and we'll have a nice little surprise what it is. And then I have my beautiful purple. This is like a really light purple Supertunia Vista. Poppies right here. And then my other dahlia color, which is like a purplish burgundy. So let's check out my corner gardens, my little potted garden here. I got this strawberry planter, and I planted some of the strawberries in here, which were struggling for a little bit. Some of them did not make it. Others did well. So hopefully we get more strawberries this year. Dusty Miller. This one is my bougainvillea that grows beautiful pink to white flowers. Some dahlias in here that I need to plant in the pot. And I have some clover and some bells of Ireland growing in here. And then these are my Eden climbing roses, which, let me just say how beautiful that is. I just love this color. I love the petals. I think it looks so beautiful, so great. I had gotten 2 of them. I promised my mom she would get 1. So I need to give her one of these. I'll probably give her this one that's blooming. My dianthus, which grows these beautiful red, deep red burgundy flowers. And then I also got this one, which is a delphinium, and it grows this beautiful purple and blue color, and it grows pretty long. So I'm excited about that one. I need to plant that in the garden. And then these peonies I had gotten from Costco. One of them had, this one had 1 bloom bud there, and it has already bloomed out, and it looks so beautiful. I will try to include it in the video. And then this one is starting to bloom, so I hope this opens up in the next day. And then here I have more peonies growing in here, but I need to put them in the pot. For my other corner, we have some gladiolas, bells of Ireland shooting, some stock. Still have a little bit of some marigolds in there, some carnations. The lavender has bloomed beautifully. I just love the lavender. Here are the oriental lilies my mother-in-law gave me for Mother's Day, which have been growing beautifully. I don't see any buds in it yet. Actually, this one does. This one has a little tiny bud in the middle. So I'm excited to see them grow, and hopefully I see them bloom this season. I also threw in here some bells of Ireland seeds and some alyssum. And then back here in this pot, I have my guayaba tree, which also I need to fill in with dirt and plant it properly. I haven't yet. And then I also have some potatoes. So we'll see how many potatoes we get this season. But there's the plant. I need to pot it in that pot. Here I have my bubblegum supertunias, which I just love the color. It blooms so beautifully. It really loves this spot. And then here I have 3 dahlias that I want to plant in that pot. My rosemary, I have 2 varieties here. This is my Australian finger lime, which, if I can see if I can get this clear here, but right here is, let's see, that's a finger lime that's growing. So I'm excited. This plant is very thorny, so if you do get one, you need to be careful with the thorns. But we're excited to try these little finger limes. I have my kumquat tree, and then my fig tree, which has some figs growing. I'm so excited. It has a lot of growth, a lot of figs here coming up. So I am excited to get more figs this year. Last year I got maybe like 5 figs or 4 figs, something like that, like a handful. And so I'm hoping for way more figs this year. And to finish with my long border, we still have this evergreen bush, which I still want to get rid of. My mom says she wants it, so I can't kill it. But here is another oriental lily coming out through there. Some African daisies, some carnations, dianthus in red that had bloomed back there. Lavender and more lavender. And then I have my gladiolas blooming around here. And then here is this beautiful purple mum, which I just love. That one I got from clearance. It was like $1. I'm really excited that it came back to life. And then here is my bougainvillea, which has just grown beautifully. And then here I have another dahlia and another rose bush. This is a white rose bush. And this dahlia, the kids just decapitated it yesterday with a soccer ball. So I need to move this one before it also meets the same fate. And then I also have some alyssum. In between here, I also just kind of threw in some celosia seeds, and I can't remember if I also threw bells of Ireland seeds in here. I don't think I did. I think I just did the celosia, and I could see something starting to grow. I don't think that's celosia though. Let me see. There's something starting to come out. So we'll see if the celosia makes it. I have 3 more gladiolas planted here that I planted last year. So we'll see if those bloom. And then on this side, I have my rosebush, which we have cut back a lot. And some new growth is coming. This is between mint and my Italian oregano. And then I have some oriental lilies here as well that are starting to grow. This is getting kind of heavy, so I want to stake this before it flops over. There was another one right next to it, just as big, and that one flopped over and broke. The stem broke, so I need to stake them before it breaks, because it has a bloom on there and I'd love to see it bloom. And then lastly but not least, I have my dragon fruit, which is still growing strong. New stems have come out, and so I'm hoping to plant this better this season, and hopefully we get some flowers that actually bloom and hopefully some fruit. But this is my May garden. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you're planting this season, and I'll see you next time. As always, sow love, grow joy, and stay rooted. Till next time, bye.